Hey everybody, today we've got something the same but different. This is an HD70 that I've had for a while. These are Colorwheel motors and rotors and stators and Colorwheel connectors. 4 of those trimmed off of old boards or desoldered. So got a bunch of Colorwheel components, and then I have this motor drive controller. I'll get it so you can see it. It's a 3-pole. It's on the bottom. Yeah, there it is. It's a 3-pole. You can see right there, BLDC motor driver, 3-phase sensorless. So you have your output to your coils right there, U, V, and W, and then you have power and ground, and then your clockwise and counterclockwise jumper setting. So what we're going to do is I'm actually going to modify this projector so that I can control the Colorwheel speed from this little motor controller. You can use one of these to also build your own Colorwheel test device. I've shown that in another video, and I am going to do an actual video on building just a separate Colorwheel test box. But this projector is actually for an artist that I know who is doing an art presentation, a gallery presentation, where they're going to utilize multiple projectors with Colorwheels that they can set the speed on for the different display effects. I'm going to move all that stuff out of the way because first thing we have to get into this. So this is the last projector I'm sending. I've already sent 2. I sent a short throw, and I sent an older Optoma TWR-1693, and they've worked out great, and this is the last one they need. The art show is coming up soon, so they're getting everything set up now. So I need to get this one finished / modified and shipped on out. But I figured it'd be good to document this so that in the future, if the projectors want to be turned back into normal use, or if somebody else wants to use the same method, we'll have it documented. So I took the lens cap off because it's in the way. First thing I want to do is open the lamp cover because there's a screw in there I have to get to. That screw right there. Alright, so that screw, this screw, and that screw. Those are the bottom screws that hold the top cover on. Then the 2 screws on the top here. That one and that one. They both come out. And I'm going to just kind of loosen the bottom ones just a tiny bit because the back kind of helps. It grabs a little tab right there. So let's work that up. Sorry about the scraping noise. Plug the keyboard wire. Set this top out of the way. This was originally made by Cortronic, HD70, 2006. So this is roughly 15 years old, almost 15 years and some months old. But it works fine, nothing wrong with it. What we're going to do is we're going to trick it. To trick it, or why I need to trick it, is this is the Colorwheel sensor. That's a Colorwheel drive. I need the projector to think that the Colorwheel is spinning normally. We're going to kind of steal that wire. We're going to control it off the little motor controller, but I need this sensor to think that the wheel is spinning normally. And actually, the first thing I should do is probably use the real Colorwheel sensor, not the fan connector. So that's the color wheel wire right there. And it's ground, positive, and signal, if I remember correctly. Well, we're going to verify that before we plug anything in. But what I'm hoping I can do is utilize this. This will be connected here. I'll give you the general idea. That motor will be plugged in there. The sensor, once I figure out the right pinout or verify the proper pinout, will get plugged in here. Wire order's the same, but I don't know if it's pinned on that end the same. And then I'll plug a hub on without any glass, something like this. And then when that hub spins, it'll tell the sensor that the wheel is actually spinning, and then we'll just kind of hide this somewhere out of the way. And then I run this wire to the actual color wheel out of the projector, and we're going to connect it to my BLDC motor driver, and that'll sit on the outside. So I might drill a hole in the case, bring it up through there, something like that, or I might, put the connector inside and then run some wires out the back. I do need to get power, so we're going to need to check power pins so I can grab 5 or 12 volts to drive this thing. So the first thing, the important thing, is I need to figure out the sensor, the color wheel sensor wires. So we'll grab the meter and check that. So we'll check for continuity from ground to the far left pin. 0, that's good. So we know that's ground. And that was also the case with this wire. And let's see what the difference is between the signal and power, if there's any. 10K, that's probably the signal. Get on that again. And it's creeping up through a capacitor. That might be power. Not sure. Doesn't really matter. If they're reversed, if I have the wires reversed for that, it doesn't really make a difference. I am going to leave the old wire in place. I'm just going to kind of twist it around there so it doesn't get caught on anything. I am going to go trim this up, cut some of that extra metal off so I don't have too much stuff in here. So I'm going to go do that real quick. I'll be right back. Let's put that plate back together. That's this plate. That plate. So I'm going to put the rubber piece back in so we can mount the wheel. Crap, I hate getting those little things back in there. You just really just have to kind of just get a screwdriver and shove them through. I mean, you can do it all clean and nice, but for this particular instance, it's just literally holding a spinning motor with a index mark so that we can see, or so that the projector sees a color wheel spinning, because that's all we're doing. We're basically putting in a dummy wheel to fool the projector into thinking its color wheel is acting normal, even though there's actually something else not related to the projector controlling it. And then for the hub, so I pulled this off of this motor, because I was thinking of cracking all those off, but it's in good shape, so I don't know. Don't ruin it, maybe. And then I have this other motor. They're both basically the same, but I was going to see which one has longer wires, and it looks like it's this one, so I'm going to look at this one. And then I have this hub, but the actual magnet assembly with the index mark is loose, so we'll have to glue that. In fact, let's do that now, because I think what I want to do is just use that little thing, use this setup for it. Alright, so I wiped most of it off and got it so I can, there we go. Let's push that together. Yeah, that'll work. I'm just gonna wipe that axle off, and then that feels good. So the way this would work is the Colorwheel segments go in between that little notch there. You can kind of see it. If I hold that one upside down, you can see they would fit right in there. And they get glued in, but since we don't need them, don't bother. So let's get that. Let's get this hub. This should, yeah, feeling good. Then snap. Yep, that spins. So let's get our bracket, this guy, and let's see, it goes this way. Get our holes lined up. It goes like that. I guess I'll go down here so we can actually maybe get some focusing. Alright, that one. And having this metal bracket smaller will make it easier for me to cram it down inside there. It should fit right by the blower fan without affecting its operation. Then we take our Colorwheel sensor, and that's going to go back on the side with that little screw. And that should still have, it does, it still has the index mark going past the sensor. It does. Oh, didn't quite have that seated all the way. Yeah, that looks good. So, first things first, let me get my actual test box. Let's plug the motor in. And let's just make sure my motor works. Looks good. Alright. Just wanted to make sure the hub was sitting properly. Cap my glue better so it doesn't get messed up again. Alright, so that's good. Next thing we want to do is, let's see about plugging it in. Let's plug the sensor in right there. See, I'm pretty sure this is out of an EP721, this assembly. So it should also be pinned out for an Optoma Colorwheel sensor, you know, made by Quartronic. So now that we have that, oh, I need to put the lamp door back on. I think what we will do is let's pop the lamp door on. I was thinking about taking the lamp out so I could see it start, but we'll just let the lamp start too. I can just turn it off. Just want to make sure the Colorwheel sensor is picking up properly. So right now, if I plug it in and we fire it up, we should see the Colorwheel spin up. Should see that motor spin up, and then the lamp should come on. Because again, this is how we're going to trick it. Oh, I guess it helps if I have the keyboard plugged in. And then the other thing I'll do is plug in the, I don't want to short anything out. Let's do that. There we go. I like that. Oh, pardon me. And then we'll plug the real color wheel into my little test box, because you want the wheel spinning when the light is on so that you don't melt the wheel or take a chance of melting the wheel. So I'll just get it spinning like that. Let's plug in the projector and power button. Hey, color wheel spun up. So if we get a light, yep, I see a light down there. So that means the pinout for the sensor was right. And I can actually see it on my arm. Maybe you guys can see that flickering on my hand. I'm just holding it so it doesn't vibrate. But here I can change the speed. See? So I can adjust the flickering of the wheel. So that's basically what I'm going to be adding to this. So let's turn it off. There we go. Now let's turn it off. And I'll turn that test wheel off, and we'll get our little test box out of the way. All right. So I need to get this wire out. Come off the side maybe. So what I'm thinking of doing is using, let's see, I have that one. Oh, there's the one I dumped. This is the one I think I'm going to use. If I solder 3 wires onto that on pins 2, 3, and 4 with the pin at the bottom of the screen, that one would be considered pin 1. We don't need that one. So pins 2, 3, and 4, I can run wires outside and connect them to that controller, and then that will give me control over the internal color wheel. So we'll do that, and then I also need power off of the standby supply. So let's do that now. Let's find that. I was thinking about trying to take it from the power to the color wheel sensor, but I kind of want to not chance overloading something that shouldn't be. So if I take it off the main power input, I should be okay. All right, you guys can see the meter. Let's plug in the projector without the keyboard. You guys can still see the meter? Yep. All right, so let's get, I'm gonna get a ground back here on that screw. And let's see, 5 volts, okay. So pin 12, wait, 12, pin 10. Let's see, pin 12 is 3.2, pin 1 is 5, ground, 5. So we probably don't get 12 until the projector actually comes on. So I'm thinking we're going to grab this 5 volt line here, pin 1, pin 3, pin 5. So we'll grab pin 5 and a ground. And we'll find the ground by unplugging the projector, go to continuity, beep beep, and then, hey, that's ground. Pin 6 ground? Yep. Or, I guess that's pin 7, 9. Let's see. I guess 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, or is it 1, 2, 3, 4? It's probably 1, 2, 3, 4 actually, since that's pin 14. So pin 4 is ground. 5. 6 is probably 12 volt. That's probably 12 volt, but that's ground too. And that's ground. So we'll grab there and there. So pin 3, and then pin 8. That's what we'll use for power. Alright, let's tin some wires. Those ready. Let's see, it's warming up. 200. So alright, tin that. Tin that one. Have our power wire ready. Now let's tin the motor control wires. I wonder if I should turn up the heat a little bit. It's kind of slow tinning these. It's holding at 300 though. Let's see. Go to 330 and see what happens. See if it's a little faster at heating the wire to tin it. There we are. Let's see how it does on these 3. Oh yeah. Alright, so those are tinned. Unplug or unhook that. I'll put my little adapter in here, and then those little black fellows on there, those little chiclets, those are inductors, so I don't need the first one. So let's desolder that. Come on. Come on, you can do it. Let's go. There we go. Alright. Then let's get these ready. Let's tin these. Wet the connection at least. Here, I'll just do all of them with a big glob like that. There we are. Those are ready. And what I'm hoping we can get those. Come on, focus. There we are. We can get those wires to connect right up on those, is what I'm hoping. The 3 wires set up. So I have one end that I made a little shorter conductor wise than the other. This one. So I'll see, hopefully we can just lay this across, is what I'm hoping. Let's see, together maybe? It's going to be a little tight. Something tells me this is not going to end up as easy as I'm expecting. Yeah, alright, so forget the inductors. I'm taking them off. I did this on another one and I didn't use the inductors. I took them off and I thought maybe it would just be easier to solder to the back of those, but I found that just bridging the solder pads that the inductors were on actually worked a lot better. I'll show you what I mean. So I just get some solder for that first wire. Oh, come on. Alright, first one. And I flipped the wire around obviously because these are much longer. Not very well tinned either. And I might have to actually do this at home with my smaller iron, but we're going to try first. Maybe. Maybe. That is fully soldered. Let's grab a Colorwheel meter and let's see if my solder job is alright. Let's go to the other end of the wires here. We should have roughly 3 ohms, I think, or 6 ohms across them. I've got nothing. Got nothing off of the motor. I plugged in upside down, maybe? Yep. Oh, that's actually, I might have to reverse my wiring then, because the first pin is, I am going to have to reverse it. First pin is common, which is wrong for our purposes. All right, there we go. So just to verify, common 3 ohms. There, 3 ohms, yeah. So common is the far right, so I need to solder over a few spots, which we can do. Pin 2. Oh boy, and this is going to be close. Actually, let me redo pin 2. That's up way too far. Last but not least, pin 3. Well, I hope this works. I mean, once they're down, they're making connection, it's fine, but it's just getting there. It's really tough. It's not really meant to do this. No, I don't want on that other contact. See, it's those pins are just so, these contacts are so close together. It makes me nervous that it's going to short out. Okay, physically it looks okay. Let's see what we get electrically now. Still can see everything, yep. Yep. This one should be about the same, 6 ohms. Come on. Yep, 6 ohms and 6 ohms. Alright, so our connections are good there. Plug that, just leave that over there. You can kind of see it's not beautiful, but it'll work, and it'll work well. I'm gonna put a little bit of CA glue just to kind of, I don't know, make it more annoying to fix if it breaks while I'm working on it, I guess. Just gonna set this out of the way, let that CA glue dry out. And let's get our power wire and deal with that. All right, we're back inside. So let's get these ready. It was pin 3 and pin 8. So let's get pin 3 ready and pin and 8. Oops. Alright, and then negative is the stripe. So we're going to go here. That one. Maybe we'll go to the capacitor. I think it's that tantalum. Let's see. So if I go here, and then, yeah. All right. So let's tin up that tantalum cap, and I'll put the wire there. It's just easier to solder to. Alright, make sure that that other resistor is supposed to be. Yes, alright, good. Just making sure it was kind of close. When I dress the wire, it may push on it. But that's good, because now we'll be able to run that wire across. I'm going to bring it out the side. Let's see. Hold it straight so it's not curling on itself. I got a vent on the side here. Come on. That'll come out there for power. Pardon me. And then this way for the control wire, come out the same opening. And that will into here. I'm going to get some tape, wrap that up. Alright, some Kapton tape. Because there are connections on the bottom that could hit against things. So now it's nice and safe, like that. Same thing with this. We're going to have to wrap up at least part of this, because again, I want to see if I can, let's see, will it fit here? Kind of. Edge of the thing hits it. We can also, let's see, can I just fit it down here? I actually like that. So I'm going to protect part of this. Mainly that, and then around here. I'm going to keep the metal from hitting anything it's not supposed to. Tuck that back there. That can sit here. And then I got it figured out. Then I have my 3M. Real 3M VHB with this cool, I leave the plastic on the side so that it doesn't grab dirt. So you can peel it off, but then dirt will stick to the sides, so like that little piece did right there. So let me get some VHB cut here, and we will put some on the back of this and stick it right to the side. Need to get some longer VHB. Let's see. We can get that backing off. I hate peeling the back off. That's always a huge pain. I find that if I start it in an area that I'm not worried about sticking, I'm better. It ends up working better. Alright, so that's peeled off. So again, all I want to do is set it down here. Come on. Stick it on the side like that. That actually feels pretty good. Although once it gets hot it might come off, so maybe I should put a little piece of wire. You guys can't see that. Let's try a piece of everybody's favorite scrap wire. I see so many people using Cat 5 wire for little projects. It's not really good for anything with any sort of power, but it's plentiful. I have a bunch here, so I'm going to try it. What I'm going to do is put that wire around there, go through like that. Then I'll shove it back through. There we are. And that's not touching anything, so this may work out really well. That wire will go down. Let's maybe stick this here. Let's try that. Let's see. Let's see how that looks. We'll use that for the other wire. Pardon me. So to switch this back into an operational projector, just like a normal, standard projector, all you'd have to do is unplug this wire that I plugged in, re-plug in that little red wire, and then plug the color wheel, unplug the color wheel, and plug that back in there. And then it's totally back to stock operation. There we go. Yeah, I can stick that there. That actually kind of works out. And that'll just get pushed down by the lid. Let's... Come on. I hate peeling this stuff up. It's such a... Like, once it goes, it's fine, but getting it to peel is such a pain. Yeah, I'm just going to have to cut that. Alright. Anyway. There we are. That's the other wire. Okay. So, let's just do a test fit of the top first. Make sure the... there. solder's a little bit of a tricky one. Okay, I like that. And zoom you out so you can actually see what's going on now. Then we have these. Do I solder them or splice them? Well, to start, let's just splice them. Let's just, you know, end to end sort of. I could just go right on the bottom. Let's try going right on the bottom. Let me see how that works out. Last time I connected everything with splices, shrink tubing and all that, but with the amount of wire I have going on here, might not be needed. Alright, it's heating up. Because we'll go here, here, just right across. So it'll be that, and then the other three. And I'll solder to the left side. Let's get the helping hands. Just to hold that still for me. Here we are. Now you guys can see it. Then the reason I add solder, like there's already solder there, but I don't know what kind of solder they used. It kind of looks like it may have been silver solder, probably is. So I just kind of want to wet it. I'm using rosin core 6040. What is it here? Tin? Oh, it's mostly tin. Okay. Alright, so you know what? I'm going to try going in on the end because of the spacing. Let's just take a little conductor off. These guys are just a little long. So if I go ground, alright. Then VCC, alright. That's good. Then coil 1, coil 2, and coil 3. So I like that. That actually should work. Let's test it. Alright. So there's a controller. We're in standby. I heard the other wheel spin up. That means we should see light soon. Figure you guys should be down here where you can actually see things. There's Optoma coming up. Let's focus it. There we are. So you can kind of see that flickering. There we are. Now you can really see it. That's me controlling it through here. So you get the idea. So that's what this thing, I'm just changing the RPMs of the color wheel. I can stop it. I think I can change its direction. Flipping that, let's see. Yeah, it doesn't really, you're not going to really notice the difference. So let's turn this off while it shuts down, and then I'm going to see about putting the screws back in and mounting this to the top. My bad. I thought I had the camera running. Apparently I didn't. VHB tape to address the wires a little. Have them going down around the side. More VHB tape. Thinking about maybe one more piece here and then a strip of Capcom just to keep it all happy. Because this will be on display, so we don't want people accidentally pulling wires or getting caught on things. So I think we'll do that. Maybe I'll just do some Kapton tape. Save this for now. Yeah, let's try that. Let's try see if I can do that. Get that extra piece out of the way. Now it's almost time for a new roll of Kapton tape. I've had this for a while. Alright, so get it straight. Wow, that turned out poorly on that end. Not as nicely as I'd like. Let's see if I can just push that wire over a little bit more. There we are. A little better. Alright, that's not bad. There we are. That's actually not bad. I'm okay with that. And then over here, I don't want to close that up because that's where air comes through, so you know what, I'm going to leave that alone. That's fine. I'm happy with this. Let's try it one more time, make sure we're good to go. When I stuffed that wire in, it was leaning against the motor. So we'll just leave it like that. And you know what? I am going to put a little bit of tape right here to keep that wire from moving. Like that. Yeah, alright, I'm okay with that. There we go. And there we go. So, while weird and seemingly, you know, non-standard use of a projector, I think this turned out really well. I'm a big fan of non-standard uses of anything. Projectors don't have to just make videos for, you know, put movies up and stuff. You can use them for displaying all sorts of things. So, you know, think outside the box a little. If I have permission from the artist, I'm going to put a link down in the description. If not, you know, you could probably figure it out if you know the scene. And if not, well, hopefully you just enjoyed seeing me modify a potentially useless projector for the most part. I mean, it's not a very new projector. You can see it's 15 years old, but it's not going into the dumpster now. Instead, it's going to live on as an art piece. So if you have any questions about this, please put it in the comments. Again, I will have a video come out very soon where I show you how to build your own test box. This Colorwheel test box was built out of an old garage door opener, the housing. So, you know, I am putting together a bill of materials, a parts list, so that people can find the stuff they need to build the thing that I'm going to show in the video. It's going to look a little different than this because not everybody has garage door openers laying around, but I'm going to try and do it with as many inexpensive off-the-shelf parts as possible. Nothing 3D printed unless you want to, nothing specific unless you need to. The only thing that's going to be hard for people to find is this little connector, but I'm going to see what I can come up with that. That's why I haven't actually put the video out yet, because I'm trying to see if there's any off-the-shelf options for that sort of connector without having to hack up an old projector board to get one off of. So anyway, hopefully this was interesting to you. If you don't subscribe, give it a thought. You know, do what makes you happy. But most importantly, thank you for watching.